Welcome to the case of the missing classmate, a thrilling mystery series that follows the journey of 15-year-old Alex Daniels with a passion for solving puzzles. When his classmate, Lily Carter, mysteriously disappears, Alex finds himself drawn into a web of secrets and lies. Each clue he uncovers pulls him deeper into a dangerous mystery, and what he discovers will change everything. Follow along as Alex races against time to find Lily and expose the truth.
It was a typical day at North Valley High School. The bell rang and students shuffled into their seats, chatting and laughing. Alex Daniels, a 15-year-old boy with messy brown hair and a curious mind, sat in his usual spot in the back corner of the classroom. Alex wasn't the most popular kid, but he didn't mind. He had a passion for solving mysteries, and that kept him busy. As the teacher took attendance, Alex noticed something strange. Lily Carter, a quiet and friendly girl, wasn't in her seat. At first, it didn't seem like a big deal, maybe she was just sick. But as the day went on, Alex overheard a couple of his classmates whispering at lunch. "Have you heard from Lily?" It's been days, no texts, nothing. That got Alex's attention. Lily hadn't been seen since Friday, and now, no one seemed to know where she was. As the day passed, Alex couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. His instincts told him that Lily's disappearance wasn't just a coincidence. Determined to figure out what happened, Alex decided to start his investigation by talking to Emma, Lily's best friend. He found her by the lockers after school. "Hey Emma," Alex said casually, "have you heard from Lily?" Emma's face paled, and she avoided Alex's eyes. "No," she said quickly, gripping her phone tightly. "I haven't talked to her in days." Something about the way she said it didn't sit right with Alex. Emma was nervous, fidgeting with her phone like she was hiding something. Before Alex could ask more questions, Emma rushed off, leaving Alex standing there, more suspicious than ever. That evening, Alex sat in his cluttered room, staring at his computer. He scrolled through Lily's social media, searching for clues. He combed through her posts, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary until he came across a picture from last week. It was a photo of Lily and Emma outside a cafe, smiling. The caption read, "Some secrets are better kept hidden." Alex stared at the screen, his mind racing. What secrets? He muttered to himself. It was the first real clue, and Alex knew he needed to dig deeper. It's late at night, and Alex is still sitting in his cluttered bedroom, still glued to his computer. The glow of the screen casts eerie shadows around the room. He can't shake the feeling that there's something important about the photo of Lily and Emma at the cafe. He stares at the screen, reading the caption over and over. Some secrets are better kept hidden. Suddenly, Alex gets an idea. He searches for the cafe online and checks the photos tagged there. He scrolls through dozens of random pictures until he spots Lily and Emma again, this time taken from another angle. In the background of the photo is a blurry figure, a man sitting at a corner table, watching them. Alex's heart skips a beat. Who is this guy? He mutters. He knows this could be his first real lead, but he needs more information. Grabbing his phone, he quickly messages Emma. The next morning, Alex catches up with Emma in the school cafeteria. She's sitting with her friends, laughing like everything's normal, but when Alex approaches, her smile fades. "Emma, I need to talk to you," Alex says, motioning for her to follow him to a quieter spot. Reluctantly, she gets up and follows him to the corner of the cafeteria. Alex pulls out his phone and shows her the picture of the man in the background. "Who is this guy? He's in the picture with you and Lily." "Do you know him?" Emma's face goes pale. She stares at the photo for a long moment, biting her lip nervously. I don't know. I didn't even notice him," she stammers, but Alex isn't buying it. "Emma, if you know something, you need to tell me." Lily is missing. This could be serious. Emma fidgets, avoiding eye contact. Finally, she whispers, "Lily was acting strange before she disappeared. She started getting these weird texts from a number she didn't recognize. She wouldn't tell me what they said, but she was scared." Alex's mind races. Mysterious texts, a strange man at the cafe, and now a missing classmate? Things are getting more complicated. He presses Emma for more, but she quickly shuts down the conversation and walks away. Determined to follow this new lead, Alex heads to the cafe after school. It's a cozy little place with warm lighting and wooden tables. He orders a drink and finds a seat near the corner where the mysterious man had been sitting in the photo. As Alex sips his coffee, he scans the room, looking for any clues. Then, out of the corner of his eye, he spots the barista who had served Lily and Emma that day. She looks like she might remember something, so Alex approaches her at the counter. "Hey," Alex starts, showing her the picture on his phone. "I know this might sound strange, but do you remember these two girls? They were here last week. My friend Lily is missing, and I think this guy might be involved." The barista squints at the photo for a moment before nodding. "Yeah, I remember them. They were acting kind of weird that day, whispering a lot. That guy. Yeah, he was here too. He comes in sometimes. I think his name is Victor or something. He's always sitting alone, watching people." Alex's stomach drops. Victor, the name, sends chills down his spine. It's the first time he's heard a name connected to Lily's disappearance. He thanks the barista and leaves the cafe, his mind spinning. He now has a name, but who is Victor, and why was he watching Lily? Back at home, Alex wastes no time. He sits down at his desk and starts researching anyone named Victor in town. After hours of searching, he finds something that makes his blood run cold. An old news article about a man named Victor Hayes, who had been involved in some shady dealings in the past: blackmail, fraud, and other crimes. Alex's fingers tremble as he scrolls through the article. Could this be the same man? And if so, what does he want with Lily? The day after Alex's discovery about Victor Hayes, he rushes into school, eager to confront Emma again. He finds her at her locker, but she looks different this time, nervous, constantly glancing over her shoulder as though someone is watching her. Alex approaches her, keeping his voice low. "Emma, I found out who the man is. His name is Victor Hayes. Do you know him?" Emma stiffens. For a moment it looks like she's about to say something, but then she quickly shuts her locker and starts walking away. Alex follows her down the hallway, pressing for answers. "You need to tell me the truth, Emma. This is bigger than just a few weird texts. Lily could be in serious danger." Finally, Emma stops, tears welling in her eyes. "I don't know much," she whispers, "but Lily, she was hiding something from me. I think it's connected to her family. She was scared, but she wouldn't tell me what it was. I'm sorry, Alex. I don't know anything else." Before Alex can ask more questions, Emma hurries off, leaving him frustrated but more determined than ever. That evening, Alex sits at his desk, deep in thought. Emma's words keep replaying in his mind. It's connected to her family. He begins researching Lily's family online, digging through old news articles and public records. Suddenly, Alex stumbles upon something shocking. An old newspaper article about Lily's father, David Carter, who was once involved in a legal battle with a group of shady businessmen. Among them, Victor Hayes is mentioned. It turns out that years ago, Victor tried to blackmail David, but the case was settled out of court, and the details were never made public. Lily's dad was involved with Victor? Alex whispers to himself, stunned by the connection. As Alex pieces together the information, a disturbing theory forms in his mind. Could Victor be targeting Lily because of something her father did? And if so, how far would he go to get revenge? The next day, Alex decides it's time to talk to Matt, Lily's older brother. He finds Matt at the local park, sitting on a bench with his head down, looking troubled. Alex approaches him cautiously. "Matt, I know this is hard, but I need to talk to you about Lily," Alex says. "I think your family's past might be connected to why she's missing." Matt looks up, surprised. His eyes are red from lack of sleep, and it's clear he's been worried sick about his sister. "What do you mean?" Matt asks, his voice shaky. Alex explains everything he's found: Victor's connection to their father, the blackmail, and the mysterious texts Lily had been receiving. Matt listens carefully, and when Alex finishes, Matt sighs deeply, rubbing his forehead. "I didn't think Victor would come back," Matt mutters. "I knew about the blackmail, but my dad never told me the details. He just said it was over, that Victor was out of our lives. But if Lily was getting messages from him..." Matt trails off, his face pale. Alex knows they're onto something, but the real question is, where is Lily, and what does Victor want with her? After the meeting with Matt, Alex heads home, his mind buzzing with new information. As he walks through the quiet suburban streets, he can't shake the feeling that someone is watching him. He looks over his shoulder a few times but sees no one. Still, the uneasy feeling lingers. Suddenly, Alex hears footsteps behind him, quick and deliberate. His heart races, and he quickens his pace, turning down a side street. He glances back again and catches a glimpse of a shadowy figure trailing him. Panic sets in. Is this Victor? Or one of his men? Alex wonders. He He starts running, his breath coming in short bursts as he dashes through backyards, trying to lose whoever is following him. Finally, Alex reaches the safety of his house, locking the door behind him. He peeks out the window, but the street is empty. The shadowy figure is gone. Alex realizes just how dangerous things are getting. Victor knows he's investigating. Later that night, Alex's phone buzzes. He picks it up and stares at the screen in shock. It's a text from an unknown number, and it simply says, "Stop digging, or you'll regret it." Alex's hands shake as he reads the message again. There's no doubt about it now, Victor knows Alex is onto him. But Alex isn't going to stop. He's closer than ever to finding Lily, and no threat is going to stop him from getting the answers he needs. Alex has barely slept after receiving the threatening text. Sitting in his room, bathed in the soft glow of his computer, he's determined to dig deeper into Victor Hayes' past. The more he learns, the more dangerous this man seems. Alex pulls up old court records and news articles, tracing Victor's involvement in shady business dealings, including blackmail, fraud, and extortion. His heart races as he reads about another incident where someone crossed Victor only to mysteriously disappear. Alex realizes that this isn't just about revenge for an old legal dispute with Lily's father. Victor is dangerous, and Lily might be in serious danger. Alex makes a list of everything he's learned so far. 1. Victor blackmailed David Carter years ago. 2. Lily had been receiving threatening texts, possibly from Victor. 3. Matt believes the past had come back to haunt their family. But Alex still doesn't know where Lily is or why she's being targeted. He needs more answers, and fast. The next morning, Alex decides to visit Lily's house. He needs to speak with David Carter directly. Maybe there's more to this story that Lily's father hasn't told anyone. As Alex walks up to the house, he feels a chill run down his spine. The once well-kept home now looks worn and neglected, almost as if the family has been living under constant fear. David Carter opens the door, looking older than Alex remembers, his eyes tired and worried. Alex cuts straight to the point. "Mr. Carter, I know about Victor Hayes. I know what happened between you 2 years ago. But what I don't understand is why would Lily be in danger because of it?" David's face hardens. He hesitates for a moment before finally letting Alex in. They sit in the living room, the tension thick. After a long silence, David speaks. "I thought it was over," he says quietly. "After I paid Victor off, I thought he'd leave us alone. But a few months ago, Lily found something I had hidden." David pulls out a small locked box from a drawer. He unlocks it and reveals a set of old documents, contracts, letters, and notes from years ago. Alex scans them, his eyes widening. The documents reveal something shocking. David had once been part of Victor's criminal operations, using his business to launder money for him. But when David tried to back out, Victor turned on him and threatened his family. "Lily must have found these and realized the danger we were in," David says, his voice trembling. "She didn't tell me, but I know she was trying to find a way to protect us." Alex feels a knot tighten in his stomach. Now he understands. Victor isn't just seeking revenge, he's tying up loose ends, and Lily is caught in the middle. Leaving Lily's house with the new information, Alex's phone buzzes. It's a message from Emma. "We need to talk. Meet me at the park." Alex feels a surge of anxiety. Why would Emma want to talk now after being so secretive? He rushes to the park, where Emma is waiting for him near a bench, looking more nervous than ever. "I should have told you earlier," Emma begins, wringing her hands. Lily wasn't just receiving texts from Victor, she was meeting with him. Alex freezes. "What? Why would she do that?" Emma looks down, her voice trembling. Lily thought if she could give Victor something he wanted, he would leave her family alone. She was trying to make a deal with him, but I don't know what it was. She didn't tell me. I'm scared, Alex. I don't know what to do. Alex's mind races. Lily was trying to negotiate with Victor? What could she have possibly offered him? And why would she meet him alone? That night, back at home, Alex's phone buzzes again. Another message from the same unknown number. "Last warning, Alex. Stop or face the consequences." Alex's hands shake as he reads the message. Victor knows he's getting closer, and now he's making it clear that if Alex doesn't stop, there will be serious consequences. Despite the fear gnawing at him, Alex is more determined than ever. He knows he's getting closer to finding Lily, but time is running out. He looks at his corkboard filled with clues, focusing on the park where Emma said Lily met Victor. That's where he needs to go next. Alex knows it's a risk, but he heads to the park that night, determined to find out if Victor is still meeting people there. He walks quietly through the darkened park, every sound making his heart pound faster. The trees cast long shadows across the ground, and the air is thick with tension. As Alex reaches the bench where Emma said Lily had met Victor, he hears footsteps behind him. He freezes. A figure emerges from the shadows. Victor Hayes. Victor is taller than Alex expected, with a cold, menacing expression. He steps forward, his voice low and threatening. "You should have listened to my warnings, Alex. You've been digging where you don't belong." Alex's heart races, but he stands his ground. "Where's Lily?" he demands, his voice shaking. Victor smirks. "You'll never find her if you keep this up." Before Alex can react, Victor steps closer, a dark look in his eyes. But just as things are about to turn violent, a flashlight shines through the trees. The police. Someone must have tipped them off. Victor quickly disappears into the darkness before the police can catch him, leaving Alex shaken but alive. After the terrifying encounter with Victor in the park, Alex rushes home. His heart pounds as he shuts the door to his room and leans against it, trying to catch his breath. He knows he's getting closer to the truth, but Victor's threat lingers in his mind. Alex sits down at his cluttered desk, staring at the corkboard covered in notes, photos, and maps. His mind is racing, trying to piece everything together. He now knows that Lily was meeting Victor, trying to negotiate with him to protect her family. But the question remains, where is she now? Suddenly, his phone buzzes. It's a message from Matt, Lily's brother. "Meet me at the old warehouse on the outskirts of town. I think I know where Lily is." Alex's heart skips a beat. The old warehouse? He had heard rumors about it being a place where shady deals went down in the past. He doesn't hesitate. Grabbing his jacket, he heads out the door, knowing that this could be his only chance to save Lily. The old warehouse sits on the outskirts of town, hidden away behind overgrown trees and rusted fences. It's dark and abandoned, with broken windows and graffiti on the walls. Alex approaches cautiously, his footsteps echoing on the cracked pavement. The moonlight casts eerie shadows across the building, giving it a sinister appearance. As he reaches the entrance, he sees Matt standing near the door, his face pale and worried. "Matt," Alex whispers, "do you know where she is?" Matt nods, his voice shaky. "I overheard my dad talking with someone. I think Victor is holding her here. We have to move fast, Alex. We don't know what he'll do." The two exchange a tense glance, and then they carefully push the door open, stepping into the cold, dark warehouse. Inside, the air is thick with dust, and the dim light barely illuminates the rusty metal beams and scattered debris. Alex and Matt move quietly through the warehouse, their footsteps barely making a sound. The place feels abandoned, but there's a lingering sense of dread in the air. After what feels like an eternity of searching, they hear a faint noise like someone whispering or moving behind a door. They find a small, hidden room at the back of the warehouse. The door is locked, but Matt manages to break it open with a heavy metal pipe. Inside, they find Lily, tied to a chair, her face pale but alive. Lily looks up, her eyes widening in surprise and relief when she sees them. "Alex? Matt?" she whispers, her voice weak but full of hope. Without wasting any time, they untie her and help her to her feet. Lily is shaky but able to stand. "I tried to make a deal with Victor," she explains in a trembling voice. "I thought if I gave him what he wanted, he'd leave us alone. But he betrayed me. He said I knew too much and that he couldn't let me go." Alex's mind races. They need to get out of here before Victor finds them. Just as Alex, Matt, and Lily are about to leave the hidden room, they hear footsteps approaching, heavy, deliberate footsteps. Victor emerges from the shadows, his cold eyes locking onto them. "Going somewhere?" Victor asks with a sinister smile, blocking the exit. Alex steps forward, his heart pounding but his voice steady. "It's over, Victor. We're leaving, and you're not going to hurt Lily or anyone else." Victor chuckles, shaking his head. "You've caused me a lot of trouble, kid. I gave you plenty of chances to back off, but you didn't listen. Now you're going to pay for it." The tension in the room is unbearable as Victor steps closer, his presence menacing. Matt grabs a metal pipe from the floor, ready to defend his sister, but Victor pulls out a small knife, his eyes as dark and dangerous. Alex's mind races. He knows they can't fight Victor alone, but they need to stall for time. He quickly reaches into his pocket and presses a button on his phone, the one that calls the police. They just need to hold out until help arrives. The situation escalates quickly. Victor lunges at Matt, and the two struggle, the metal pipe clashing against Victor's knife. Alex grabs Lily and pulls her behind a stack of crates, trying to keep her safe. Matt is holding his own, but Victor is stronger. With a swift move, Victor knocks the pipe out of Matt's hand and pins him to the ground, the knife pressed against his throat. Alex knows he has to act fast. He grabs a nearby piece of metal debris and, with all his strength, throws it at Victor's head. It hits him, causing Victor to stumble and release Matt. In that moment of chaos, the sound of sirens fills the air. The police are closing in. Victor realizes he's out of time. With a furious look, he backs away and disappears into the shadows, escaping through a side door before the police arrive. The police storm the warehouse, securing the area and checking on Lily, Matt, and Alex. Lily is shaken but safe, and the officers assure them that they'll find Victor and bring him to justice. As they sit outside the warehouse, under the flashing lights of the police cars, Lily turns to Alex with a grateful but haunted expression. "Thank you, Alex. If you hadn't come for me..." Alex shakes his head. "I couldn't have done it without Matt. But this isn't over yet. Victor got away." The police officer promises to continue the search, but Alex knows deep down that Victor isn't the type to give up easily. The mystery may be coming to a close, but there are still questions lingering about Victor, about Lily's father, and about what comes next. As they drive away from the warehouse, Alex reflects on everything that's happened. He's solved the case, saved Lily, but the world suddenly feels a lot more dangerous than it did before. It's been a few days since the warehouse confrontation, and Alex is at home, trying to return to a normal life. But the memory of Victor escaping still weighs heavily on him. Sitting at his desk, he looks at the corkboard filled with notes from the case. The thought of Victor still being out there makes him uneasy. Suddenly, his phone rings. It's Detective Ramirez. "Alex, I have good news," she says. "We've tracked Victor Hayes down. He's hiding out in an old safe house outside of town. We're moving in to arrest him today." Alex's heart races. "You're going to catch him?" he asks, his voice hopeful. "Yes, and this time, there's no escape. We've got enough evidence to put him away for good," Detective Ramirez reassures him. "I'll keep you updated. Stay safe, Alex." As Alex hangs up the phone, a wave of relief washes over him. Finally, the police are closing in on Victor. At the edge of town, Detective Ramirez leads a team of police officers to an old, run-down safe house. The building is surrounded by overgrown weeds with boarded-up windows and a rickety front door. Inside, Victor Hayes paces back and forth, aware that his time is running out. He's been hiding ever since the warehouse incident, but deep down, he knows the police are closing in. Suddenly, the sound of cars pulling up outside makes him stop in his tracks. Through a crack in the window, he sees the flashing lights of police cars. Victor's heart pounds, and for the first time, a flicker of fear crosses his cold, calculating face. Without warning, the police burst through the door, guns drawn. Detective Ramirez steps forward, her voice firm and commanding. "Victor Hayes, you're under arrest." Victor raises his hands in surrender, his usual smug expression replaced by one of defeat. The police quickly handcuff him and lead him outside to the waiting cars. As Victor is placed in the back of a police car, Detective Ramirez looks him in the eye. "It's over, Victor. You won't be hurting anyone else." Victor glares at her but says nothing, knowing there's no escape this time. Back at the police station, Victor sits in an interrogation room, his hands cuffed to the table. Detective Ramirez enters the room with a stack of papers, followed by Alex and Lily's father, David Carter. Victor's expression is cold, but there's a glint of defeat in his eyes. Detective Ramirez sits across from Victor, laying the papers down in front of him. "You're going to sign this agreement, Victor," she says firmly. "It states that you will never contact or harm Lily, her family, or Alex again. If you do, we'll make sure your prison sentence is extended indefinitely." Victor narrows his eyes but says nothing. He knows he has no choice. Detective Ramirez slides the paper and a pen across the table. "Sign it." For a moment, Victor hesitates, staring down at the paper. But then, with a resigned sigh, he picks up the pen and signs his name at the bottom. "Fine," he mutters, his voice filled with bitterness. "I'll leave them alone. But don't think this means you've won." Detective Ramirez leans forward, her eyes sharp. "Oh, we've won, Victor, and you're going away for a long, long time." A few weeks later, Alex, Lily, Matt, and David Carter sit in a crowded courtroom, waiting for the final verdict. The judge, a stern-looking woman, reads out the charges against Victor Hayes: blackmail, kidnapping, attempted murder, and more. Victor stands before the judge, his hands cuffed, his face a mask of indifference. But when the judge announces his sentence, a lifetime in a maximum security prison without the possibility of parole, a flicker of fear crosses his face. The judge looks down at Victor, her voice stern and final. "You have terrorized this family and this community for far too long. Your actions have consequences and now you will face them. You are hereby sentenced to life in prison." The sound of the gavel echoes through the courtroom, and for the first time, Alex feels like a weight has been lifted off his shoulders. Victor is led out of the courtroom in handcuffs, his face pale and expressionless. Alex, Lily, and the others watch as he disappears from view, knowing that this time, he's truly gone. After the trial, Alex and Lily walk outside the courthouse, the sunlight warm on their faces. Lily takes a deep breath, smiling softly. "It's finally over," she says, her voice filled with relief. Alex nods, feeling the same sense of closure. "Yeah, it is. He can't hurt you or your family anymore." They sit down on a bench outside the courthouse, watching people pass by. For the first time in weeks, the world feels normal again. Lily looks over at Alex, her eyes filled with gratitude. "I don't know how to thank you, Alex. You saved me." Alex smiles, shaking his head. "I couldn't have done it without you. You were brave through everything." They sit in comfortable silence for a moment, knowing that they've both been changed by the experience, but also knowing that they've come out stronger. Later that evening, Alex returns home, feeling a deep sense of relief. He sits at his desk, staring at the corkboard that had once been covered with clues about Lily's disappearance. Now it's empty, everything has been solved. He takes a deep breath, smiling slightly. The danger is over.